colors waving high. Red, white, blue up in the sky.
What's going on, guys? It's Blade Phoenix here. So I just wanted to give an update on what's been going on in my mind currently after doing some research on the web. And I would have to say that the Democrats have bad news coming, in my opinion. And it's not as clean and cut as a lot of the left wants you to think it is. If you look right here, we have states where Biden's name can't be removed off the ballot because there are deadlines. So if you look, one of the states is Alabama, then Indiana, then Michigan, Minnesota, New Mexico, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Washington. So that alone, it makes me wonder what will be their strategy to try to get anybody else's name on the ballot. Moreover, another issue that comes up in my mind is that this party doesn't really have loyalty to no one specifically. There's definitely multiple sides of the Democratic Party that is more evident than ever before. I don't think we could commit right now to any specific candidate. I don't think so. Like, there's a lot of names that could come up, and I highly doubt that it's going to be that easy. Take a look at this clip.
So what we now know is that Joe Biden is not running for re-election and he endorsed Kamala Harris. But behind closed doors, you have to believe there's two political parties in the Democratic Party. One is the Obama-Biden camp. The other one is the Clinton camp. The Obama-Biden camp wants somebody young and from his base so he can do the fourth term, fifth term, you know, the whole thing that he used to say, like a shadow campaign behind closed doors. He's going to want somebody from his side. The Clinton camp behind closed doors saying, you think this guy was good? That was Obama's guy. Biden. Do we really want to do this again? You got to trust us. And behind closed doors, do you think Hillary is okay with Kamala being the first female president if they put all the money behind her because the whole campaign money is the Biden-Harris campaign? You think Hillary's going to sit there and be like, yeah, totally fine, good, I totally support Kamala? This doesn't work that way. Kamala's going to do her fight. She's going to say, I'm the person. But Republicans, if there's anybody they would like Trump to go against, even that they're more excited about than Biden, it's Kamala Harris. So if they want this thing to be a slam dunk, keep Kamala Harris there. They're not going to do that. There's a lot of lobbying going on today. This is not a Sunday for these guys. Today's a Monday for Democrats. They've been working today, yesterday, Friday. Everybody's lobbying behind closed doors, selling on why you should be that person. Hey, can you call that person and tell them it's me? Hey, can you call that person and tell them it should be me? That's what's happening right now behind closed doors. And never underestimate the power of Hillary Clinton being able to pull a lot of cards and say, hey, I almost beat this guy. Matter of fact, I think I beat him in 2016. I'm the right person to go run against him. Don't be surprised if they pick Hillary. This is a very weird season. Great for politics, great for podcasts, great for a lot of different, it's like free agency and every sporting, podcasts and shows talking about the trades and all this and the trade deadline. That's the season we're in right now. A lot of trades are being made behind closed doors right now with favors. Hey, Kamala, you step down. We'll nominate you for the Supreme Court of Justice. Hey, you we'll give you this. That kind of stuff is going on right now behind closed doors. So don't just jump to conclusion thinking it's Kamala. This is just the beginning of the madness.
So as you heard there, we have a clip off of X from Patrick Bet David. And I totally agree with him. I feel like there's a lot of scrambling, a lot of negotiation going on down on the Democratic Party. I definitely feel the next step could be maybe blending a ticket that everybody agrees with. I don't think it's going to be a president and a VP that both sides have an issue with. I think there's going to probably be a collaborative effort to how this goes, but deep down I believe that if they can't come to an agreement, that they're willing to rule over the ashes at this point, because I just see this as an embarrassment to the party, very disorganized. There was a lot of in denial responses to when people asked about the mental capacity and durability of President Joe Biden. So to see it come down to this could have been avoidable from, I would even say, even months back. You know, it would have been even better if it was a year or more, but even months back we could have avoided this. But it's a show. I'm sure the world is watching, and it's honestly an embarrassment. You know, even if it's not a party that I particularly support or vote for typically, it's an embarrassment. It makes our politics look like a joke, and hopefully in the future we can redeem ourselves to actually be a respectable force to be reckoned with on the planet. Now, no way am I saying that American politics has always been a perfect thing or ever was perfect. I wouldn't say that. I mean, look at the story of Abraham Lincoln. I mean, come on. Sad time in U.S. history. Let's take a look at this clip from R.F. Kennedy Jr. on his thoughts on Kamala Harris.
You mentioned Kamala Harris is who you said that the Democratic Party appeared poised to put into that position. You were critical there, obviously, of President Biden's policy. What, if anything, is different? How do you compare yourself to Kamala Harris if she does become the Democratic nominee for president?
Well, I think, Kamala Harris is the party of war. She is, she's a war hawk. The Democratic Party was always the peace party. Kamala Harris is a war hawk on Ukraine. She's a war hawk on China. I think that we should be figuring out ways to coexist with the rest of the world as best we can. Of course, we need to protect our national security. I think she's not going to do anything about the national deficit. I've never heard her speak about the chronic disease epidemic, I think she's a product of the corporate control of our democracy. And she's one of the authors of, in terms of civil rights, she has one of the worst civil rights record of any public official. She's the author of one of the primary authors of the school to prison pipeline. She kept 5,000 people, despite a Supreme Court order that she released 5,000 prisoners of nonviolent drug crimes who were illegally in California jails. She kept them in there saying that we needed them for firefighting and for other public work services. And that's just a modern version of indentured servitude, a modern version of slavery. She was one of the two leading public officials in California, which now has the worst education system, 49th in education outcomes in the country. 50% of the homeless people in our country are in California, and she was behind those policies. I don't think she has a good, I don't think, in terms of the traditional democratic principles, I don't think she has a credible record.
So you heard it here. I agree with him. I personally don't think she has a credible record for where most Democrats lie. I think she's way farther left than some people who voted for her to be vice president on the last ticket with Joe than they expected. Some knew, and some were just misinformed, in my opinion. Thank you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.